Okay. So I was going to talk about the hard road. Sorry, I'm checking the camera to make sure there's like not a customer in the store. I gotta go help, like fix their phone or take a payment or something. Anyway, how do we start this one? I don't exactly remember what time this was. It was quite a long time ago, like somewhere inside my using career. I would say in the middle somewhere. Um, I was pretty active from age 16 till I would say at least 7 years. You know, something like that. Around 23. Um, anyway, so somewhere in there, I would say maybe around 20. I don't know. I'm driving it. I'd be getting loaded every day, every single day. I don't know, like marijuana at this point, sometimes alcohol, and whatever else I can really get my hands on. I mean, there's other street drugs there, but I think mostly it was just like weed at the time. It was not legal 20 something years ago. Um, that didn't stop me, but I was using it to escape reality and just make sure that I was loaded all day long. But I had gotten in trouble quite a bit by this point, and so I'm just kind of setting the stage for my story. Anyway, so I found myself, kind of self aware about the situation. I'm driving down the road, there's a carload of people, and for whatever reason, I just get paranoid. I don't know what these people are going to do. I have no idea. Maybe they were going to a party. Um, Maybe they were going to go do other kinds of activities that I wanted no part of, but I just got this really sick feeling. And so I started talking to the driver. I'm going to leave most names out of this stuff just because, if those people want to pipe up and comment or, whatever, find my videos later on, I'm not trying to drag or throw anybody under the bus. I'm just here to tell my side of the story, and I'm not really blaming on anybody. Okay, so back over to where I was at. I was arguing with the driver, and I'm telling the driver that I want out of the car. I want out of the car. Let me out of this car right now. And he just was like, "No, I'll stop when we get to where we're going. You can get out." And I'm like, "No." And we're going through all these back streets and side roads and all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, let me out, man. I gotta get out. And I just had this feeling like I didn't want to go where they were going, and I didn't want to do what they were doing. And honestly, it could have been something that I shouldn't have been doing anyway. And I had enough charges at this point, because frankly, when you have a using career, panhandling and it's just not enough money to be loaded like I was trying to be loaded. I had a severe habit. I mean, I started off with, that milder like weed or whatever else, and smoking a bunch of cigarettes, and it moved right into crank and heroin and everything else. And so I needed a lot of money to support those kinds of habits. But somewhere middle way through, I knew that there was a problem with that kind of behavior because I didn't like the consequences. I didn't like being locked up. I didn't like standing in front of a judge and them questioning me, "Hey, why are you here again? I thought you'd learn your lesson by now." And I'm just standing there like an idiot, like, I don't know why I don't learn my lesson. And now that I've been forced to be sober for like 3 minutes, I think it's stupid behavior too. I ain't got no argument. Are you guilty or not guilty? I'm guilty. Give me my 60 on 90 with the $500 fine and 2 years probation. I'm not going to show up for the probation. I don't know why. I'm not that smart. Anyway, so I'm arguing with this guy. And sorry about my tangentiality. I'm just trying to set the stage. Like, I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, open the stop this car. I'm gonna jump the fuck out. I'm like, stop. Anyway, so I don't know where we were, but we come out, and I know that we're all of a sudden going down Yakima Avenue in Yakima, Washington. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, all of a sudden we had turned onto this road. We had taken a right. We were traveling in a westerly direction, and we're not downtown, so we're further getting closer to neighborhoods. And I'm like, dude, stop the car. And he's like, look, I'll let you out when I get to where we're going. I was like, dude, I don't want to go where you're going, and I'm done. I was just done that day. I mean, I'd been loaded that day, and I wanted to go crash, and I didn't want to be involved in any kind of more crime. I just didn't. I was done. Like, let me the fuck out of here. He wouldn't stop the car. So I opened the door, and I don't have a seatbelt on. I opened the door, where it's like in a four-door like metal sedan thing, and I'm looking at the ground, and I don't know what these people are doing. I phased them all out. The whole car is full of people. I don't give a fuck. I'm looking at the ground, and I know it's gonna hurt. I was gonna try to hit the ground running. That was a stupid idea. It doesn't matter. I remember my first couple of feet hitting the ground. We're doing 20, 30 miles an hour. I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, the fat native bounced and rolled, and I think I felt every single piece of gravel on the edge of that road. I mean, I bailed out the car. I was done. I think the car kept going. I mean, it kind of slowed down a little bit, and then the door slammed, and then they just kept going and doing their thing. I never seen those people again. Yeah, more. Have a better life, doing whatever you're doing. And I could have been wrong. I mean, maybe they're cool. They're just gonna. But I was fucking done. You know what I mean? It's like let me the fuck out of the car. When somebody wants out of the car, just let them the fuck out of the car. What is all this? I'm gonna drive down the fucking road shit. Anyway, so back over to me bouncing down the road. It hurt. Every single side of my person was scratched up and fucked up. And after I stopped rolling, and I don't know how long that was. I know that it was more than I would have liked. I crawled my fat ass off the road and onto a sidewalk, and I look up, and I don't know what it was. It was some sort of mortuary. I'm looking at this mortuary, and I'm just laying on the fucking road. I mean, well, not on the road. I mean, on the sidewalk. Because at first I was laying on the road there. I just kind of crawled. I was whooped. I mean, I don't think I have ever been beat up that bad by anybody, including the police. I mean, and I have taken some legendary ass whoopings, but that ass whooping from the ground, from the asphalt, 20, 30 miles an hour. At least when you go down on a motorcycle, you can kind of hug the motorcycle, and if you're lucky, you can ride that son of a bitch on the side. But not this time. It was just me and the road won. It did. But I crawl up, so I'm laying there on the sidewalk, and I don't know for how long. And I knew that I didn't want to keep doing that, laying on the sidewalk thing, for very long, because at some point a policeman's gonna come by and we're like, why the fuck is there some dude laying on the sidewalk shit? And I didn't want to be part of any kind of issue with them at all. Why there's a fat native off the reservation and he's laying on the fucking sidewalk? I didn't want that questioning, but it was kind of funny that I'm in front of a mortuary, and I was like, man, that's where I was headed. So I don't know. I crawled deeper around a corner or something, and just laid on some grass, I think, for a while until I could get up. And I mean, I hurt. I don't know, maybe half an hour. Then I got up and stumbled off down the road. Kept to back roads. I used to go to my dad's house, and it's not. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's kind of a weird story, but we used to have this window, and I used to live in the basement, and this window would just kind of open. It was at ground level, and I just head first right in. It wasn't that far down, it's 5 or 6 feet down, and I had some stuff down there, so I could just land on it. I think I just laid there until, like, I came to the next morning. But I was glad. Um, I didn't wake up in jail that day for doing something extra stupid. I'm not saying like I didn't do any more stupid shit after that, but I am saying that it stopped. That stopped. That day anyway.